If you're currently using skin lightening products, I get you, because we live in a world that glorifies and puts on a pedestal everything that is light-skinned. And it's also because you cannot become what you cannot see. So I get that you see images every day of women who are making it in whatever industry and they're light. So I understand that. However, I wouldn't advocate for that.
When I went to university, I discovered a place just behind Odeon where they sell these bleaching products, where if you're a dark woman, when you're passing by, they'll literally call you up and tell you how you're gonna look so beautiful when you apply the products. And I really used to buy the products. And I started becoming light in such a way that my face and my neck and my hands were different colors.
So for example, if you are to take a trip down to River Road on Mombasa House and a fine lady invites you to concoction mixing experiment to obtain a skin lightening product, they would most likely be using hydroquinone, a corticosteroid, and isotretinoin, which is vitamin A. So these are supposed to be mixed normally if you're talking about large-scale manufacturing at certain concentration. So the risk here would be that you have someone who is not very much aware of the amount of these individual ingredients that they're putting in one particular product. So then it puts you at risk of being over-medicated.
That specific product, I don't know if I got the bootleg one, it chomad my skin. In fact, now my armpits are even darker than when I used it. So I was just like, let me accept what God gave me. It's fine. But yeah, I did try to like lighten my armpits.
Think of it as your fingers, and when you press on your finger, what happens to it? It becomes lighter. That's the exact same thing that hydroxyquinone does. It blocks off the catalyst from reaching the upper levels, and so the cells above don't receive the pigment, melanin, which is what gives you the color, and so the cells become lighter above that. And with continued exposure with that, it then damages that entire mechanism of which the body is used to. And what the body doesn't use, it will disuse, and that is the basis of basically forming cancers.
Mercury, for example, is known as a nephrotoxic. That in common language means it affects your kidneys. So it's a harbinger of chronic kidney diseases, which usually in most times result in death. Isotretinoin, corticosteroids usually have a thinning effect on your skin. So when you use them over time, your skin loses its protective capacity.
I remember there's a music video I did and the lighting was like so intense. It was poor lighting. So like my skin looks light. Then like my knees looked like super dark. Like I'd actually gone and gotten my car and done like intense. Like they're dark, but the lighting made it look intense. And someone tweeted and was like, Aki, my own day, please just go sugua your knees because like what is going on with you?
The body reacts in such a way that it wants to counter whatever you're doing. So in as much as you will be light, the adverse effect to that can be you become extremely dark in some other areas. That is a condition known as onchronosis. And with the people who have used it for a longer time, you find that they now form different blotches and patches of their skin of where they have been using these materials. And so I would say the over effect or the adverse effect of that will then be, whereas you're intending to be lighter, you end up being way darker than you initially started off. Not to mention the texture of the skin changes, the appearance of the skin also changes. Basically, it looks like a road that needs recarpeting.
Apart from mercury, you would find in any given concoction the presence of hydroquinone, isotretinoin, or a corticosteroid. So the catch mostly is with the limits or the acceptable concentrations of each of these individual ingredients in a product.
Hydroxyquinone is a product that is used in the market to lighten the skin, and it mainly will burn off what is tyrosine, which is an enzyme. You remember your biology where you have something that catalyzes something or makes the process faster.
The problem is not really in their presence, apart from, again, I insist, mercury. The question is really, are the amounts in those products as per the label claim? And label claim in this case implies what your consumer mentions as the content of these individual ingredients in a given product.
The bigger question about whether you can lighten your DNA, if you're black and you get a baby and you bleach yourself, your baby is going to be black like you.